Hey, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the podcast today. It's a blessing to have you guys. My name is Anthony Murray. And as you see, I'm somewhat of a lonely person today. My team is not here. Well, it's all right. Guess what? You're here and I'm here. And we have a special guest. And I'm telling you, she's going to bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm going to have her come on in a little while. She's going to tell us a little bit more about herself. Listen, you do not want to miss this. You want to invite your friends. You want to bring as many people with you to this as possible. It is going to be tremendous. It's going to be a great blessing. All right. Well, my name is Anthony Murray. I'm with WFG, Rankin Financial Center, located right here in the city of Rankin. So for those of you that are in Effingham County, I am right here on the main road, right on 21, we call it, right? Or Columbia Avenue, across from, what's the name of that place? Dunkin' Donuts. Well, it hasn't opened yet, but it's almost there. But I tell you what is open. T-Mobile is open directly across the street. Jersey Mike is open directly across the street. And you know what's directly in front of us? I tell you what's directly in front of us. Geo Vista. So let me mention this to you. If you're in Effingham County or Chatham County or wherever, and you're close by and you ever want to come and be part of a live audience, come on down. Come on down. But you can't do it this week, all right? But you could probably do it next week. And it'll be a blessing. Nothing better than having a live audience. Nothing better. Well, I'm so sorry that my team's not here, but you know what? Be ready, be prepared. We're going to bring in a young lady right now named Gwendolyn Bullard. And I call her Dr. Gwen, Dr. Gwen, Dr. Gwen, right? Dr. Gwen, here you are.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gwendolyn Bullard with Unpack This, and I am located in Rankin in the same building my friend Mr. Murray is in, and we are both here in the community. We are here for you guys, and yeah, I am here as a life coach / recovery coach. So my business is a coaching outlet for those who want to talk and release, and for those who may be struggling with some addictions.
All right. Hey, listen, Gwen, let me ask you something. Uh-oh, we still got the echo. I don't know why. All right, but let me ask something. How long have you been doing this?
So I have been doing this since 2014. I have been a life coach since 2014. I graduated with my master's in counseling and substance abuse education. So I just decided to merge the two of them and help individuals who may be struggling and who needed an outlet to release what's been holding them back.
All right, now, I know that you're busy because you have a family. So tell us a little bit about what made you get into this. What made you get into this?
Yeah, so back in 2014, my husband and my family, we were stationed in Virginia at Fort Eustis. And when we got there, again, as we go to many duty stations, the spouse has to always restart whatever it is that she's doing or was doing since when she left he left the last duty station. As we are not the service member, we don't just jump back into work. We have to figure things out and immerse ourselves, if we desire to, into the community and how we can be of essence. And so since I was coming up on graduating, I decided that I wanted to volunteer so I can get more acclimated to my community. And I volunteered at the Army base hospital where we were stationed at. And I was told that a lot of people at that time did not request that type of volunteerism with the skill set that I was wanting to share and give for free, per se. I actually knocked down some doors, and I was told that by the staff that was at that particular hospital, because it was the psychological program that I wanted to work with, because that was my program of study at the time. And so you just don't get in there with the Army, in the Army hospital, just because you just, want to offer some free services that easy. So I was told that was monumental for someone to have done that at that time. And so it just really gave me a boost of what else can I do? Like, I can do things if I just put my mind to it and just not be so afraid to do it.
Sure. Well, now let me ask you something. You started this as a volunteer on an Army base.
Yes.
So who were you helping? The families, the children, the soldiers?
So at that time, I was a volunteer. So the idea came about as I'm working with the soldiers that were in transition to come out of the military. It was called Warrior Transitional Command. And so I was a social worker assistant volunteering. And I worked with nurses and social workers at the master's level and psychiatrists, and at the table with the personnel that in the cadre, as they call it, that was responsible for saying whether soldiers would get XYZ percentages when they depart and when they disconnect. So it was very, very important as a member of that team to be allowed at that table, and to work with soldiers on their goals to get them to the point where they're able to transition out of the military. So it was just something else to talk with the soldiers and them believe in you, that you're not just someone that's checking a box. And I was told that by one of a soldier that did not want to talk to someone like me. They were struggling with some trauma, and I was one that had to help them before they got out. If that box didn't get checked, that they had someone helping them with goal setting, they were not going to transition at that moment. So they had to speak to someone to help them with their goals. But it was that person that said, you know what, I don't want to be here. You're just one of those that's just trying to check a box. And it was when I said, no, actually I'm volunteering. I do not get paid for this. And they said, oh, really? Oh, well, then in that case, I will talk to you. So that led me to believe that service members and a lot of other people do want to talk and share, but may not be so much to their command, or maybe not be so much to another authority figure. Yeah.
Well, now let me ask you something. When you were there, were you restricted primarily to the soldiers, or?
Yes.
All right. So these were soldiers that came out of combat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then, because you're dealing with a lot of what is it called? PTSD?
Yes. Just one of many.
All right.
Yeah. PTSD. And I'm talking about my desire and my passion to do mindfulness meditation, which is what I do in my office as well, came about from there because I was trained to do that with soldiers in theater. I'm talking about a theater with 100 soldiers. And I had
Wow.
to facilitate mindfulness techniques with them right there on the spot. And you know what? It was somewhat helpful, but then again, it wasn't because they wasn't comfortable. They're in hard chairs. They can't get away from their thoughts in a place
Mm-hmm.
where they're able to consciously just relax.
Okay.
That is why I decided to implement my mindfulness within my practice. So,
All right. Now, what is it called?
mindfulness mediation. I'm
Mindfulness.
sorry, mindfulness meditation.
Okay.
Mindfulness. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, I know you were explaining to me before something about you get people to think about uh, good times or something that happened good, and for them to
Yes.
think about that. All right. So, without
Yes.
getting too much into it, because I know I've seen Office, and there ain't no hard chairs in there. You got that cool massage chair that I haven't sat in yet. I'm just waiting to sit in that thing, and
Yes.
it's a very comfortable environment. So the environment makes a big difference. So now, do you find that people just need somebody to talk to? I mean, in general,
Absolutely.
the people need somebody to
Absolutely.
talk to. All right,
And,
all right,
and
because a
here's
lot of people seem to be holding on to stuff, and then it gets all bottled up. And I go through that as a pastor when I'm talking to people, and I can hear them, and they're all bottled up. And man, when
yes.
they start talking, it's like flood. It's just coming out, and they
Uh-huh.
don't stop. So people need
It's true.
somebody to, I guess, what, release this to or something.
Release. Release, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. And so that's where the life coaching came about for me back in that same year. I was graduating and I was trying to decide, okay, I want to help people in the community, and I know I'm not licensed with my counseling yet. I don't even know if I really want to be that a licensed personnel. But the idea of life coaching came about when I saw a life coach myself. And I was trying to figure out,
okay.
should I go back to my home state and launch this career and facilitate life coaching, because I know people wants to talk and release. There's so much things bottled up that could be holding people back. And so I saw a life coach for 2 days, and she helped me
Hmm.
figure it out. That's why I can believe in the ability that practice works.
All right, now
Sometimes,
let me ask you something. What's the
yeah,
difference between a life coach and a counselor?
the difference is that life coaching is brief and it's non-clinical. That's the major difference. It's not therapeutic. It's not clinical in nature. It is just people talking. The person that I am speaking with are setting their goals. I am not setting them for them. There's no time limit. There's no time that I can say, okay, we'll be done in 12 sessions. No, this is all about you, the person that is coming for the coaching. And we may be talking about whether you trying to decide to go to college or not. And we're going to chop it up. We're going to work through some strengths you may have, some values. You may get your decision in 2 sessions. It's all about what the individual wants to do and what they're trying to figure out. So counseling is therapeutic in nature, clinical. Some people are forced to do it, some, through courts or whatever may be mandating them to do that sometimes. Some people just need counseling for other reasons, but the difference is non-clinical. I don't bill for insurance. It's just, as see fit, out of the pocket. So
Yeah.
counseling is the bill's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what
That's what you
counseling
do.
is.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you have to abide by regulatory rules with counseling, being a professional counselor. The board mandates certain rules and how you can practice them, and you have to be licensed to do that. My practice as a life coach slash recovery coach for addictions came
Mhm.
about with my certification as a international certified life coach. That came
All right.
about with
Let's
that.
talk about your certifications with us for a moment.
Yeah. So my certifications came through the Fowler uh, International Association for Professional Coaches, which they have a lot of coaching certifications that you can gain from that entity. And I happen to earned a dual certification as a professional life coach slash recovery coach, uh, one that enlists and help people with recovery from addictions. And since I had already had a master's degree in that field of substance abuse, it only refreshed my knowledge and competency as it related to relapse prevention. So I help people after they have gone through treatment, not during, because that would be an interference and that would be considered clinical. After they have gone through treatment, it's per education, which is what I do. I'm actually are embarking on my doctorate degree real soon. Hopefully this summer I'll be completing my dissertation and in education. So that's what I do. I educate folks in my practice.
Wow.
So yeah.
Man, that's powerful stuff. That's powerful. So you educate people, and
Yes.
you do this all. Like, what's the average period of time a person will see you?
Again, it could be 1 to 2 sessions, three, probably no more than five. It just depends on the individual. You can't say it's not like a cookie cutter thing that everybody would be done in 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. It depends on the individual. As you know, people are human. They can make appointments, they can counsel them. It just all depends. But if you're honing in on those strengths, you're honing in on what that client wants to do, and you're staying on that topic and not veering off, it should not take more than 4 times that a life coach, meets with someone. It just depends on what they're discussing and what they want to accomplish with their goals.
Wow, wow, that's powerful. So, do you see a lot of change with people, with the people you? I mean, some people, people change in degrees, all right. But do you see like drastic change, or do you see sudden change?
I would say sudden sometimes, because again, it can be where I'm a client just is really at a crossroads with whether they should open up a business or not. And we go through a few things that they share, and it kind of coming from another person listening and making sense of
Mm-hmm.
things where they get it at a certain point. And it may not take that long for them to get it and be like, wow, I didn't consider that. Or, they need to tap into their values, because this may not be something they family normally do. It may not be something a spouse want, but they want it. And they just probably just need to talk it through with their spouse and, apply some self-love, to where they are passionate and they are confident that that could be something that they can be successful at. So you're just really diving into some things that they're going to share with you. I can't do it without the person. I can't look at a list and say, oh, okay, that's gonna work. It doesn't happen that way.
All right, so you're dealing with people that's making career choices mainly?
Career choices, a lot of choices.
All right, I mean, you're dealing with a
Choices.
lot of different things, especially coming out of the military. But
Coming out of the
when you
military.
say, Mhm.
I'm
Go right
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to say coming out of high school, wanting to know whether they should work or go to college or go to the military. So students I work with as well. So it just depends on whatever it is, and that's why it can be very brief. It does not have to be in person. It can be video like we're doing now, which is mainly a lot of my clients are conducting sessions with me that way. So, yeah.
Wow. All right. So most of your clients are streaming as opposed to coming into the office.
Yes. Yep.
Are you still dealing with a lot of military?
From time to time, not a lot. But what I want to do is I want to connect with the courts and perhaps really tap into helping the community with the relapse prevention component that I offer. And I know that will help a lot because I am aware that there's a large percentage of folks that need that kind of help and support. And so if I am able to connect with the courts, then people would perhaps know that I'm here for them and they can, share and learn in a safe space in our community. So that's my goal, is to connect with on the macro level with the courts.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. All right, so I like what you're doing, how you're working with people, and you're trying to help people really find out what their call is in life, what their purpose is, and helping them to get over maybe their pain. But you're not really doing a lot of psychological counseling, or are you?
No, if
You're more like,
someone, so here's the cool thing about this is that because I have a psychological background in counseling as far as academia, right? I've learned that at the master graduate level. If someone comes to me and presents with such characteristics where it is clinical and it's therapeutic based, I cannot see them and I will not see them. I refer them. I refer them to licensed clinicians that can help them. So PTSD is clinical in nature, okay? But if they have not gone and sought treatment prior to, I cannot immerse in that session with them because it's too raw. It's too they haven't done anything. You know what I mean? So I have to weave people out, unfortunately, because I just cannot see them. It's not within my scope of practice to do that. So
I'm with you.
Yep.
All right, hold on a moment here. Right, but that's great. Hey, listen, let me ask you something here. On the lines of coaching, you're really pretty much just having a conversation with people, finding out what they want to do in life. If they're confused about it, you help them look back,
get to that direction. Yeah.
Okay.
What's holding them back? We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna unpack this. We're gonna dive into it, unpack this, and perhaps get to the root cause of what's holding you back.
Okay.
To get into your goal.
Because I'm finding a lot of people right now, they really don't know what they want to do. I mean, I run into a ton of people. They go to work at the factories, um, or warehouses, rather, not the factories, but the warehouses. And then they go to McDonald's, they go to Burger King, and next thing you know, um, they're at home. They're not really doing anything, and they
Or
have
what they
really
want to do.
good, yeah, or what they want to do, right? And they have good potential, good skill. I've run into a ton of people that have great computer skills or communication skills, but they're not doing anything with it.
And that's what I do. I help build life skills, and that can sometimes be going into careers and helping them find their strengths and finding a fit to the skill set that they have or what they desire to have, and perhaps steering them in a direction that would be more inclined and beneficial for them in the future. So yeah, it does not stop at soldiers. It's just anybody, really, because you can be anybody that's at a crossroads. I was a graduate. Student. So yeah.
Yeah, hey, look, that's so true. I ran into this lady at Lowe's one day. She was a cashier with a doctor's degree in engineering. And she said she couldn't find a job. And I'm like, how is it that you couldn't find a job? What is it? Why couldn't she find a job? I was like, lost. What was going on that she couldn't find a job? But she couldn't find a job. And she was doing cashier work. And I'm like, really? She had a doctor's degree in engineering, a doctor, not even a bachelor or a master's, but a doctor's degree in engineering. But she was working as a cashier. So do you ever have people that's overqualified for something and that's their stopping point?
Yeah, I've met someone when I was with the Georgia Department of Labor when I first got here. I just wanted to get out here and do something. So I tapped into working with them and seeing people come in all the time, just lost their job, was with an employee for many, many years, got all these skill sets. And I remember talking to this one lady. She said, I did this, and this, and they laid me off. Been with them for so many years. And I'm like, okay, so why are you here? And I probably should not have been lending this type of information, but it was just, okay, so you telling me you got all these things, why not do it yourself? Why do you need to work for someone? Why not market your own skills to where you don't be laid off again? Market your own skills. You can get out there and advertise, and you'll probably be more happier. I don't know, but that's what I decided to do. I decided to market my own skills.
And it's working out.
It's working out. It's a work in progress. Like I said, I just got here to this town in Rincon. We just retired last year. So, it's a work in progress, but I believe in my abilities. I believe in what I have to offer. And so I know it's going to work out in the long run for myself and the community. So yeah, it's a slower pace for me right now, but that's expected. But it's not the only thing that I'm doing as far as income is concerned. Because you got to think about that. And when you first start in a business, what's at stake? What kind of risks you're taking? How long it might take for things to really get off to a great start for you financially? And can you afford to take time for that to flourish. All that has to come into play. And thank God I have a great supporting husband that sees my vision, our vision, and he's fully supportive. And so yeah, but I mean, I'm connected with another agency to where I'm seeing children, but I solely work with them for that. It's nothing to do with my business. It's just that's a stream of income for right now while I get my practice, afloat, if you will.
Right.
So it doesn't, I mean, when you're starting a business, you just gotta weigh in on a lot of things, as you know, Mr. Anthony.
Absolutely. So now your first consultation is free.
Yes.
And then after that, how do you charge people? Is it on a scale or how do you charge? It all depends what the situation is.
It depends on what we're doing. Like I said, I am offering life coaching and I'm offering relapse prevention. I also have some behavioral consultancy that I also am servicing. I have mindfulness meditation. So if a person wants to come in and have a session for life coaching and they want to also get in the massage chair and we're going to have a mindfulness session, that's additional. So it just depends, but it's all out of pocket, just like if you was going to get your hair done and you just want some self-love and self-care and you want to see a life coach. That's what this is like. It's not, I'm not tapping into no insurance. I don't want to know anything about that.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't report to anyone. What you say to me is in confidence. I believe in that confidentiality. And so yeah, it's various fees. But yeah, it's pretty much one fee per that type of service. And it can go up as far as how long or how many sessions we do. Yeah.
Wow. Now, wait a minute, you gathered off a whole bunch of things. Like I said, life coach. And what was the other recovery?
Recovery coach, recovering from addictions.
Okay.
Behavioral
All right, so life
consultant.
coach, recovery, behavioral. All right, so why don't you talk about recovery a little bit and behavioral?
So the recovery coach sessions is for someone that's recovering from addictions. As I mentioned earlier, it's all educational. I'm going to educate that person on triggers and things that perhaps can get them back to where they were with using and getting caught up into substance from the beginning. So we're gonna try to prevent, because if you've gone through treatment and for however long that was, you don't want to get back into that. And so we want to create some sobriety tools that you can use to take with you, because it's never, addictions is very, very difficult to stop completely without help. So that's the recovery and relapse prevention component. Behavioral consultancy is it ties in with that, because it's all about your behavior. Sometimes we can figure out what it is about your behavior that you're doing to cause you to have these triggers. Like, are you around people that are using? That's a behavior, right? What is making that behavior function to where you want it or to where you want to get high? What is that? What is about that behavior that is causing you as a adolescent student to act out? You see what I'm saying? So a family may consult me if they're having a child that's disruptive in school, perhaps starting to use, right? So we're going to go to the root cause of why that behavior is such.
Hey, Gwen, let me ask you something. Do you find that those with behavioral issues have problems also handling their financial issues?
Sometimes, yeah, because, especially with addictions, almost all the time, if you're using and you have used and you've been in treatment, sometimes you've exhausted your finances. Your finances has got so caught up into your habits, right? You can't pay your mortgage, right? You don't lost your job. You can no longer finance your habit. So you might be doing some other things to get to that substance, if you will, right? Take an adolescent child, for example. They acting out, sometimes it could be because of something that's happening at home. I had one kid that I saw not long ago that said that she goes, when she goes to school, she's disrupted because she's jealous of some of the girls about some of the things that they have and she doesn't. They family are on the verge of poverty versus, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes money is a root. Is a root. So yeah. That comes across too.
Wow. Man, that's powerful. So you're able to really not only help that child, but help parents with that issue that's going on. And so now you help them, so to speak, unpack that baggage. All right. And then, so to speak, repack the right stuff.
Exactly.
So now you have to get into financial. Say it again.
Yes. Offer them some alternatives to their normal way of thinking that got them into that position in the first place.
Okay. Wow. So give me an example when you say offer them alternative thinking like what?
So, for example, if an adolescent student was being defined and disruptive at school, and he or she is doing so because he's jealous of because this other student has all these flashy designer clothes or whatever, and they don't, and they lift it. They might lift something from that person because they're jealous, right? And that's what a student came to me and told me not long ago that I was having a session with, that they took it because they didn't have it and they have so much of it, right? So I will help that student think about what is it that you want people to know of you as far as being a trustworthy person. At your age right now, no one's going to want to be around you if you're thieving, right? And if your family does not have what this family has, and they have allowed their child to have certain things that you feel like you should have, you should know that you don't know what they went through to get that, right? And maybe that's not for you right now, but it's not that you won't get it one day, but right now, what matters and what should be a focus to you is that you're building trust and relationship with your peers, right? And because it's hard enough to be in middle school or high school to where you don't want to be known as a thief. Right? That's can cause so many other problems for you as far as socialization. So so we just dive into things like that and just kind of get them to think a little bit further about their actions.
Okay. Now you said socialization, so you can people look at how they need to deal with the environment, period.
Yes. Yes.
The
Because
environment, period.
with relapse, I mean, it is your environment when you're relapsing. Oftentimes, you're triggered by something in your environment. Something someone said, something you saw on TV, something, it's a lot of that is environmental. And with our children, certainly socialization is important in their lives, unless they're under a rock. Like, you want to be able to socialize and be liked, in the appropriate developmental ways. And so, it's just a lot to tap into with children, because they're our future. You want them to have a great starts, and if they're coming from a family that's already in poverty, it's just so much that they are challenged with, so yeah, there's a lot to dive into with adolescents in themselves. But adults that are struggling with some things, sometimes you can kind of hone in on things a lot quicker, if you will. Because they're gonna share what they want to share, whereas adolescents, you gotta go through the parents. Sometimes you gotta go through teachers and try to find out. So the adult population is more inclined to share what is bottling them down. And if they're really, really ready for a change, they're gonna open up and share. Yeah.
Wow. Well, look, this has really been enlightening for me to know what you do. And our name of our show is Financial Sense. So we try to help people see what's going on with money, all right, and how the money can make money. But let me tell you how important this is that when you're dealing with, and I've volunteered as a minister, as a pastor in the prison system for a time, in Connecticut, here in Georgia, Massachusetts, and money has a lot to do with a lot of things. And when it comes to kids acting out or parents going crazy, a lot of it stems from the lack of or the misuse of their finances.
Agreed.
And so it's really interesting for you to talk about how you have to deal with children, and sometimes how you have to get to the root.
Yeah, unpack it. You gotta unpack it.
Say that again.
I say you have to unpack it.
Yeah, hey, that's the name of it, right? Unpack
That's
this.
it. Yes.
All right. So listen, folks, if you have something that you would want to ask Gwen, type it in the comments so we can ask and we can find out. Right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who have children or adults that have some things they need to talk out, and sometimes you need somebody that is biased or unbiased, rather.
Unbiased.
Yeah, not biased, unbiased, so that they can hear, and so now you could have somebody that you could bounce things off of. That's not going to pick sides.
Absolutely, someone that's going to cheer you on to trying to reach when you're trying to reach that goal. So I'm that cheerleader also.
Oh, all right. All right, Gwen. Hey, well, listen, we want to thank you for coming on today. I did put your number up there for people could give you a call, and then they could find out how how you can help them or how you can help one of their family members. Because it may
Yes.
not be someone that's listening, but it may be somebody that they know,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
It may be somebody
That's
that
true.
they know. So
Yes.
here's her office number right here. She focuses in on uh, life and behavioral issues. She's a life and a behavioral consultant. And listen, you will be blessed just from being around when she has such a sweet and pleasant personality. All right. So, Gwen, we want to thank you. Is there any last words that you like to share?
Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Murray. And also, I just want to share with the audience that they can also reach me on my website, unpackthis2, the number 2.com. I'm also there. You can reach me there and request services there. That's unpackthis2, the number 2.com.
Is that it right there? Is that correct?
That's it right there. Yes, yes, sir.
Unpack this, the number 2.com. All right, so
Yes.
folks, you have everything right there. If you want to call her, you could call. She doesn't mind. You want to go on the website, go on the website. All right, and keep in mind that one of the things she's going to do, she's going to help you unpack that
Yes.
unnecessary baggage, right?
There you
That
go.
luggage, that stuff that you've been carrying around too long. Unpack that
Mhm.
stuff. Unpack it. All right, you've been blowing your money trying to figure out. I know what's going on with your money. It's going out the window. Financial sense. That's why.
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
it's been gone, man. You haven't had anybody to bounce this off of. Oh
That's
my
it.
goodness. So,
And
so
be
listen.
truthful. And be truthful to yourself. Yes.
Mhm. So unpack this thing. Unpack it. All right. You've been
That's
carrying it
it.
around too long. You know you've been carrying it too long. Unpack it. All right. And Gwen is just the person to help you do that. And hey, maybe a husband and wife have some things you need to unpack. You may have some children that have some stuff because maybe they've been through. Maybe you're raising your grandchildren and they have some stuff that they need to unpack. Unpack it today. Unpack it,
Unpack it
right?
today.
Give Gwen a call. Unpack that stuff. Well, Gwen, thank you so much for being with us. We love to have you come back another time. All right.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. I will.
listen, maybe my colleagues will be with me next time. But folks, you look, this was powerful information. Powerful information. You guys need to go on our Facebook page and press like a million times. Share this. It's going to air again. Tell your folks, your friends, your family to watch this on YouTube. All right. And this woman's just a wealth of kindness and wisdom.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. All right. So we're going to listen. Today's an early day. All right, we got 9 minutes left. But Gwen, we want to thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
All right. All right. Hey, listen, this is Anthony Murray, and I just want to thank you guys for being here today. Wow, man, I got a lot out of that. You know, she's down the hall from me in my office building, and I never knew that she had that much going on, that much wisdom. You know, we always see each other when she's around or when I'm around because I travel a lot, you know, but listen, what a great individual. There's her website right there. You need to grab that website and share it with your friends, share it with your family. You know, people that's been going through, they don't have anybody to talk to, or maybe they've been talking to you, you tired of talking to them. Well, refer them to her. All right. She's unbiased, and this way, she could probably help calm down the situation. Maybe you're thinking about you may be going through emotional trauma in your marriage. All right. You're facing something serious in your marriage. You know what? You probably just need to unpack that emotional struggle with somebody that'll hear and give you words of wisdom, all right, to help you make the right decision. So this has been great. You know, as a pastor, I find that one of the main things people have problems with in marriage is money. Money. And then you know what number 2 is? Communication. Communication. So I love her philosophy and what she's doing, how her objective is to help people unpack their pain, unpack their confusion, unpack what's going on in their lives so that now they can be more productive. All right. We want to help people do what's going to help them in their lives and going to help them to better things and to straighten things out. That's what we want to do, right? That's what you want to do. So, friend, I want to thank you for being with us today. Don't forget to invite people to watch this. Don't forget to invite people to listen to this and encourage them. You know, people that's been holding this stuff in. You know them. They've been holding it in, and they need to unpack it. They need to get it out. So, thank you for being with us today, and we'll see you next week. This is Pastor Murray, Anthony Murray of WFG Rankin Financial Center, located right here in the city of Rankin. I am your insurance expert. I will help you with pretty much any insurance, life insurance, retirement plan that you need. God bless. Take care.
I like that.